Long Beach, California, long known as a waterfront playground. Long sandy stretches, the ocean, the bay, the marinas, a paradise by the Pacific. With more sunny days than any other major metropolis, it's a bustling beachside burb that locals love and make tourists turn out by the thousands. But when the sun goes down, something sinister starts to rise. Welcome to Haunted Long Beach, where the fun comes to a frightening stop and ghosts come out to play. We're taking you to some of the spookiest spots in town, where the dead didn't always go gentle into the good night.
Please come and play with me.
There are firefighters who worked here, refused to work here unless they absolutely had to.
Some hauntings are little more than urban legends, tall tales that grow taller through years of retelling. The haunting of Old Long Beach Fire Station number 12 is not like that. It is haunted by a real ghost. You can ask anyone who's ever spent time there. The old station, now decommissioned, is in a small Spanish-style building, a former sewing shop snugly fit into a pre-war neighborhood on Gundry Avenue in North Long Beach. Though it now serves as the field office for City Councilman Rex Richardson, it still maintains all the trappings of a firehouse. The roll-up garage door is still in place. The lockers still have old turnouts stuffed into them. A fire hat hangs from a hook, and the station's insignia is still painted on a wall. It shows a ghost wearing a fire hat and wielding an axe. It is the ghost of the late firefighter, John Macomson. Macomson worked at Station 12 throughout most of his 30-year career, and lived for much of that time in a house across the street. Firefighters say that even after he retired, he would stroll over to visit the crew, help with the gardening, and check on the station when firefighters were out on emergency calls. Macomson died of natural causes in the early 1990s, but many firefighters maintain that his spirit never left. His ghost continues to haunt the station, even after a new number 12 was built nearby. Since his death, firefighters have reported numerous cases of seeing a stocky man walking through the station's rooms. Sometimes the apparition is a ghostly white. Other times it's a smoky shadow. Macomson's nickname? Smokey. There are also frequent reports from firefighters awakened after midnight unable to breathe with an invisible weight on their chests.
Being awake and having someone sitting on their chest. I know of at least 3 firefighters that had that happen to them. They were fully awake, they couldn't cry or scream out or say anything, and they just, as best they could, said, "John, let me up, John, let me up." And then the pressure on their chest would slowly ease, and then they would get up, they'd look around, everyone's either sleeping or out on a call, and nobody was there.
There are stories too about brave firefighters who are afraid to pick up a shift at the station, scared off by the ghost of Macomson. One managed to work a single shift before fleeing the house. Another made it 2 days before bolting for good. We managed to get Long Beach firefighter paramedic Brian Fisk to visit the house one sunny afternoon and tell us about his days at the firehouse. A little less eager to talk was his 15-year-old daughter Savannah, who saw Macomson's ghost 12 years ago. Come on, let's listen, and don't be afraid. It's only a movie.
So kitty corner of the station, John Macomson, they called him Smokey was his nickname, and worked for a while here at Station 12. He was known as a joker. He was a tall man, mustache and dark eyes, as he was described. I worked here from 1997 to 99, and then again from 2005 to 2009. Had a number of different experiences. We'll call them paranormal experiences. But that's where John lived. And shortly after he died in the early 90s is when we started to experience some of the paranormal activity that people describe today.
I was standing in front of the doorway, and I remember seeing this tall, or it wasn't a figure, it wasn't a shadow or anything, it was a man. And I just remember him looking down at me, and he had a bushy dark mustache and dark eyes. And I just remember him looking down at me, and I was trying to get through him, like I was kind of just like trying to get through the bathroom, but he was standing there. So I turned to my dad, and I went to tell my dad, I was like, hey, there's a man standing in the doorway. And when I turned back, he was gone. So, I don't know, I was just confused. And it's one of my earliest memories. Like, I didn't know it was a ghost, but for some reason I just remembered that memory, because I just remember being really confused. Like, why was there a man standing in, like, I don't know, he was blocking me. And it wasn't like, he didn't look mean or anything. He was kind of just like smirking at me, like, I'm not gonna let you pass by me and stuff. I don't really remember everyone's reactions. I just remember my dad. Like, that's the main reason why I was confused, because my dad was like, there's no one there. Like, no one's blocking your path, go in. I remember he was like, go in. And I'm just like, I can't go, like, shove him aside, but I feel really spooked out because, I don't know, I just feel kind of uneasy because the whole experience was just like confusing, and now that I'm older and I can understand what happened, it just freaks me out. So, yeah. And right when we were over there, when you were showing the office, sorry, I'm getting like a really uneasy feeling. I heard a voice in my ear, and it said, "You're back," and that's why I walked out. Oh, I feel uncomfortable.